On today's That Park Place Daily Countdown, Disney celebrates 100 years by trying to get you to remember at least one thing that you liked about them. Tiana's Bayou adventure goes for authentic 1920s New Orleans art from modern-day Chicago. Bounding into Comics spills the tea on what was wrong with the scrapped Daredevil reboot. Disney Plus struggles to get consumers to bite the silver bullet. And DisneylandForward moves at least a couple of inches. All that and more on today's That Park Place. Welcome. Disney is 100 years old, and so are we here on That Park Place. We are celebrating our 100-year anniversary. We were founded on October 16th, 1923, or maybe a little bit short of that, just a few weeks ago. We wanted to say thank you to all of our subscribers for helping us reach 4,000, and also we're going to celebrate 100 years of the Walt Disney Company tonight. And here to comment on that is our good friend WDW Pro. Pro, how you doing?
Oh, hello. Happy to be here, and what a momentous day it is for the Walt Disney Company. I only hope that they have done well with such a moment in their history rather than using this for cheap, what should we say here, merchandising.
They would never do that. So tonight, in order to celebrate, we've got at 10 p.m. Eastern a 100 years of Disney celebration. We put celebration in quotes, live stream that we'll be doing. Be there, be square. And Pro, do you think you're going to make it?
I think I will. And when you're looking at Disney and what they're doing today, especially with all of these characters brought together in one thing, and having Snow White hold the hands of the character who's starring in their upcoming movie this winter, where if Disney doesn't pull that off, well, they're in deep trouble. All I can think of is the line from Miracle on 34th Street, where Alfred, the young boy who dresses as Santa to be kind to children, but is the janitor at Macy's, when he talks about Christmas and he says, make a buck. That's what Disney is each and every day. I can't fault them for capitalism, but I can fault them for being corny when they do it.
Well, on that note, we probably should get moving on to our stories covering entertainment, streaming, video games. We'll go to our crack reporter here, Jonas Campbell, for all the news that should be fun.
Who's that? Number one.
Thank you, Jonas, for that rousing intro. Today we have a story out of Walt Disney World. The company. It's 100 years old today, and so naturally Disney released a special celebrating 100 years of Disney animation. The name of the special is Once Upon a Studio, and it goes through a whole bunch of Disney characters as they prepare for a big group photo. And let's do some quick highlights here. The short starts with two animators, a young black woman and an old white man, talking about the history of Walt Disney Animation, which actually started at Laugh-O-Gram Studios, but we'll celebrate their big building here. Sure, why not? As the halls come to life, as you can see these pictures here, the ones in this classic cartoon come to life, and they enlist Tinkerbell to go wake up all of the cartoon characters that you know and love, and plus the recent ones. As you can see here, Zootopia, Princess Tiana. Of course, Princess Tiana takes somewhat the lead here, as everyone loves Princess Tiana, whether or not they love what they're doing to Splash Mountain in her name. Even Bolt. A little bit of a spot here. There are moments in this, obviously they don't have Robin Williams at their disposal, but they do have hours and hours of bonus recordings that they decided to use here. As you can see, it's an antique animation desk. I don't think they use those anymore for their current production, since 2D animation is not a focus of the company. Speaking of 2D animation, for some of these they used classic cells, as you can see for Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather, and there's Old Reliable, and the Scotty Dog there from Lady and the Tramp. Those are all ones where they use the originals. As you can see, there are moments in here where things don't quite look how they should. And she's holding hands with the newest Disney movie, which has yet to come out, which is the make or break moment for the entire studio at this point. So, what do you think? Is the Disney100 Once Upon a Studio one of those things where the nostalgia just grabs you in the feels? Or is it, on the other side, one of those cynical cash grabs that only the Walt Disney Company could pull off? Let us know in the comments down below.
Number two.
Coming to us from www.magic.com, Disney has shared more details on the new mural that is part of Tiana's Bayou adventure, opening in late 2024 at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom. As you can see here, some of the mural, it looks like they're replicating it here with the trees and the parts, I guess, they're going to be filled in later. Artist Malaika Favorite has produced all new artwork that will decorate the walls as part of the queue of Tiana's Bayou adventure. And this is Miss Favorite right here in front of the murals being painted at Tiana's Bayou adventure, Princess Tiana's desire to adorn the location with art is keeping with the spirit that artwork is to be enjoyed and accessed by everyone. The scenes highlight Tiana's professional journey and the creation of Tiana's foods. Carmen Smith, Senior Vice President of Creative Development, Product, Content, and Inclusive Strategy said, "I am humbled by the level of research and detail that Walt Disney Imagineering has paid to bring the authenticity of New Orleans to Disney parks and resort guests to immerse guests in this empowering tale." Now, this is just your girl's editorial thing here. This is supposed to be in the 1920s, and while these drawings are indeed colorful, it doesn't really scream 1920s to me. But you know what? You out there, let us know. Does Malaica Favorites art give you the idea of 1920s New Orleans when you see it? And seeing this art, does it make you more interested in seeing, or say experiencing, Tiana's Bayou Adventure attraction? Let us know in the comments.
Number 3.
Bounding into comics editor and aspiring man without fear, Spencer Picculi here to let fellow Daredevil fans know that they dodged a bullet when it comes to Disney's original plans for their Born Again reboot. As many may now know, the House of Mouse announced on October 11th that they would be taking Daredevil Born Again back to the drawing board and subjecting the entire project to, quote, significant creative reboots, end quote. Though Disney has remained mum on the exact reasons for this restart, it seems the company realized that Born Again was shaping up to be yet another MCU dud. According to the Hollywood Reporter's Boris Kitt, quote, sources say that original writers Matt Corman and Chris Ord crafted a legal procedural that did not resemble the Netflix version, known for its action and violence. Cox didn't even show up in costume until the 4th episode, end quote. However, thanks to additional details provided by scoopers, we now know that Disney was planning to heavily deconstruct Old Hornhead's character, and its execution was, to say the least, rough. The first to raise additional information about the scrap version of Born Again was Discussing Film owner and editor-in-chief Jacob Fisher, who in a now-deleted tweet responded to THR's coverage of the news by exclaiming, quote, maybe Foggy and Karen won't get shot and killed off in the first episode this time, end quote. This scoop would later be backed up by the Cosmic Circus writer Alex Perez, who after tweeting, quote, wait till people find out what led Matt to hang up the suit for 3 episodes, end quote, and being met with a screenshot of Fisher's tweet in return, asserted, quote, there it is, end quote. Shortly thereafter, noted scooper Can We Get Some Toast would additionally allege that, quote, originally, Daredevil Born Again had Matthew hang up the Devil's Cowl for over a year after failing to save Foggy. Kingpin would have been mayor, winning on a campaign of backing law enforcement while discouraging street-level heroes like Punisher, Daredevil, and Spider-Man, end quote. Asked whether this mention of Spider-Man had originally called for a cameo from Tom Holland, a scooper deconfirmed the possibility, explaining, quote, he was just mentioned in the speech Kingpin gave as he was sworn in as mayor. Remember those set photos of the Kingpin in New York on New Year's Eve? That was the speech, end quote. Further, per one of Can We Get Some Toast earlier scoops, it's also known that at some point, Matt Murdock would have found a new job practicing law alongside a race-swapped version of Kristen McDuffie, as portrayed by actress Nikki James. As for whether or not any of these elements would carry over into the new version of Born Again, Can We Get Some Toast did suggest that, quote, the rework won't be changing any of the principal cast, end quote. That all said, I want to turn the question over to you. What do you make of Disney's original plans for Daredevil Born Again? Do you think they made the right move in taking the series production back to square one? Do you have any hope that their next draft will be better? Let us know your thoughts.
Number 4.
So it looks like Disney Plus has changed their pricing strategy and increased the cost of Disney Plus Premium effective on October 12th. That inspired me to talk about their ad-supported tier known as Disney Plus Basic and help figure out if it's a good deal for viewers. So we will compare Disney to Netflix and see what's what. Hi folks, it's CC here for That Park Place, and today I bring you a condensed video of a story I covered on my own channel, so if you want the full story, go over there and check it out. But let's get down to it. When you opt for Disney Plus Basic, you'll notice ads marked with a little ad box at the bottom left corner. That will also feature a countdown so you know how long you will have to endure them. While you can pause the ads, fast forwarding through them isn't an option for obvious reasons, and the content bar for the entire program has notches indicating where the ad breaks are going to be so you can plan your bathroom breaks appropriately. And for once, when it comes to kids, parents get a break here because content aimed at younger audiences or watched on a kid's profile usually remain ad-free in line with Disney's promise. So the only indoctrination they're funneling at your children is the content alone. Time for a one-to-one comparison. And here's where it gets interesting. At $6.99 per month, Netflix Basic with ads is cheaper than its $15.49 per month ad-free counterpart. In contrast, Disney Plus Basic costs $7.99 a month compared to Disney Plus Premium, which jumps to $13.99 per month on October 12th. The biggest differences between the two services, of course, is the catalog size to the cost. In a nutshell, Disney Plus with ads isn't drastically different than what you'd get from any other service. The catch is the pricing. So what's your take on streaming ads? Would you opt for the Disney Plus Basic, or is an ad-free experience worth the extra cost? Please share your thoughts with us down in the comment section below.
Number 5.
Hello everybody, Tommy Tables here. Audience, the term futurist gets bandied about quite a bit. Tony Stark of Iron Man fame claimed to be a futurist. Elon Musk claims to also be a futurist. A futurist is someone who naturally predicts the future. However, I would dare say that neither Tony nor Elon could have ever realized the future would arrive in the form of an avocado peeling robot. Yes, that's right. Chipotle has created the avocado. And yes, I put emphasis on Chipotle because I said it wrong in the last time. And so Jonas made me re-record this. But anyway, this is a creation by a company by the name of Bayou, and they have created this machine which, quote, works with food industry leaders to co-create intelligent automation and technology solutions, unquote. This machine can be loaded with up to 25 pounds of avocados, hopefully ripe, which it can then slice in half, remove the pit and peel, deposit the unwanted parts in a waste bin, and allow the folks at Chipotle to turn it into the delicious guacamole we all know and love. With the avocado, the process could potentially take half the amount of time. They're hoping that it'll come soon, and when it does, will it be able to make the guacamole taste just as good as, you know, the old-fashioned way? Anyway, let us know your thoughts. Do you think this will revolutionize the food industry? Are you excited for the appearance of the avocado? Do you think it'll gain sentience and take over the world? Leave us your comments down below.
Number 6.
Hello there, Vash Sky here with our next story, this time from Scott Gooston on Twitter. New, here's a closer look at new concept art that shows a possible new parking structure east of Harbor Boulevard along Manchester Avenue as part of the DisneylandForward project. If you've been familiar with this project before, this project covers the entire Disneyland Resort facility, whether it be Disneyland Resort Core, involving the 2 theme parks and the 3 resort hotels, also the parking structures that are ancillary to this, and even the one across from Harbor that Disney owns land in today but can't actually build. This is Eastern Gateway 2.0, or the extension of Disneyland Forward, which now has art connected to it. If we look at our timeline, we'll see that the EIR, or the Environmental Impact Report, was just released. It's now in a notice and comment period, and we'll be having votes on this shortly. This is a fascinating story that we'll keep you updated on as Disneyland Forward, well, moves forward.
That's another great D here on That Park Place. If you're watching this on October 16th, don't forget to tune in tonight for our 10 p.m. live stream celebrating the Walt Disney Company, celebration in quotes. What did you think of Disney's multiverse thing going into even the animation side of things? They've done it in Marvel. They had that big moment at the end of The Rise of Palpatine where they had all of their Star Wars characters show up. Do you think multiverse is going to make people love the animation studios again?
This makes me think back to when Bob Chapek was talking about doing all of these different multiversal tie-ins, right? Everybody wanted to be like Meta. They had the metaverse. That was the big corporate spin, the big corporate phrase for the day. And Bob Chapek talked about it. I wonder if this was a Bob Chapek initiative. And then beyond that, it reminds me sort of that Saturday AM Winners Don't Do Drugs cartoon that came out back in the late 80s, early 90s, where Michelangelo was teamed up with all the other cartoon characters.
I was just going to say, that's what this is missing. This is missing Michelangelo from the Ninja Turtles. Also, all of the Pixar characters. So they've still got that left. They can do their 25 years of Pixar, or whatever I guess it would be 30 years of Pixar by the time.
Jonas, they only buy properties that are doing well so they can ruin them. Paramount's doing just fine with the Turtles and driving them down into the sewers. Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for being here. We hope to see you tonight for the live stream. Of course, leave a comment if you have something to say. Like this video if you like this video. Share it out on the social medias, or you could even subscribe if you want to be here for the daily madness for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com for all the news that should be fun. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.